Yo, what is up everybody, and welcome back to another F1 2020 My Team video. It is race 3 of the 2020 season. It is the inaugural Vietnam Grand Prix. This is a very tricky street circuit and one that I foresee us struggling at heavily. Of course, this is a race that is not going to happen in real life, but we still have to attack the Vietnam Grand Prix, so let's give it our best, I suppose.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it.
Are there any drivers that you've got a rivalry with at the moment?
So this is where we get to choose a rival, it looks like, and I'm going to pick Giovinazzi. Why not?
It's the start of the season. How do you think things are going to go for you?
Pretty good. So I chose Giovinazzi over Kvyat just because it feels like we've been racing Giovinazzi more this season, so might as well keep it relevant with our season and pick this answer, I guess.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
Like I said, you know, this is not going to be the best race for us, Claire.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Claire, I guess. Let's get these resource points under our belts, and we have enough to apply for an upgrade before we get into one-shot qualifying, so we will definitely do that. We haven't really gone too far into the chassis department yet, so we're going to go invest into a chassis part. We have been working heavily on aerodynamics and a little bit in the power units, so now that we got that underway, let's go qualifying in Vietnam. Our expected qualifying position is last place, and anything above last is probably considered a win. Maybe we can out-qualify one of the Williams, but I'm not too sure that we can expect any more because not only is our car not great here, I am not great. The car is not good, the driver is definitely not good at Vietnam, so we're going to give it our all nonetheless, and we're actually looking pretty decent so far. P16 down the first long straightaway, so there might actually be potential for a decent starting position, which is a lot more than I expected. So yeah, like anything above, I would say 21st is considered a win to me, as we peak as high as 13th, but we definitely do not get a good exit off of that corner, and that's going to affect this entire very long straightaway. It's a little bit squiggly, but it's still full speed, no braking, and you can see our position dropping. We went with more of a downforce setup that is also affecting this, but a lot of the reason why we lost so many positions there is just simply because we did not get a good exit. So now we're in P20 as we leave the hairpin, and this is more of where I expected to be P21, and you know what? We're probably going to drop down to P22 soon, though. This is where the high downforce part of our setup will definitely pay off this final sector, so you know, maybe we'll be able to gain a position or two. Maybe not. We drop down to literally dead last. 22nd is last, as we are just slowly but surely maneuvering our way through up to 20th. And yeah, I guess we will not qualify last, which is cool with me, but it's not going to be too great nonetheless. Lewis Hamilton on pole. We get P20, and yeah. This is kind of a bogey race for us, kind of a throwaway race, so there's not really many high expectations. All I really want to do is just finish all the laps so we can meet our sponsorship goal of completing 75 laps in a race weekend between myself and my teammate Mazepin. That's all I'm here for, alright? I'm just here for moral support for the team, to literally sell out for the money and move on to China. As you guys see, Lewis on pole. Lewis Hamilton has already won the first 2 races of this early 2020 campaign, so if Lewis can win this race from pole, which is very likely, he may already start running away with his 7th World Championship. So we just created this rivalry with Antonio Giovinazzi, and so far it's not going great because he easily outqualified us. For the first time in our career, Mazepin also outqualified us, so we'll see what this Vietnam Grand Prix has in store for us. Hopefully we can just keep the car clean and get a decent finish.
Welcome along to the Vietnamese capital of Hanoi, a vibrant city built on the banks of the magnificent Red River. Today it's the backdrop for the latest round of the Formula One World Championship, with a circuit specifically designed to encourage overtaking opportunities. I think we could be in for a cracking race today. A lap of Hanoi circuit then, 3.4 miles around the Vietnamese capital. A number of the 23 corners take their inspiration from other great circuits, hopefully creating plenty of passing opportunities. And with me as usual is Anthony Davidson.
Let's talk about Cook.
That was a solid result in their last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Ricciardo, Ocon, Albon, Stroll, and Sergio Perez. Norris, Gasly, Daniel Kvyat, and Sainz, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Nikita Mazepin, and Roman Grosjean. Magnussen, Cook, Russell, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
So it's looking like the two-stop is easily the better strategy. We could go from hards to mediums and try to value track position, but it looks a lot slower. So I'll just stick with the two-stop. We'll go mediums and then a pair of softs to the end of the race. So after I pause the game for a second, we are going 5 red lights on, and wait a second, 5 red lights finally out, and we are underway with the very first Vietnam Grand Prix. A decent but not great start. It's a hairpin turn up here. We're gonna go way late on the brakes. Whoa, what a dive bomb, all the way up to Albon in P10. We eventually drop back a position or two. We get a warning for touching Albon, even though we barely made contact. Felt like we made contact with someone there, but we're gonna keep it going. That's Daniel Kvyat, who we're gonna squeeze and get away from, and we are up to 12th place, a net gain of 8 positions after the first couple of corners. Kvyat trying to find space to attack, space to run into us, and we run Kvyat out. And we have been making contact with Kvyat quite a bit early on, but we maintain P12. They are 3 wide behind us. That is absolute madness. Once again, we get a horrible exit heading into this long straightaway. Kvyat's coming at us. Perez is coming at us. They both got the slipstream, but they're both battling each other. And Giovinazzi right behind them. It's an absolute battle pack as Kvyat trying to find an avenue, but cannot ultimately get past us. And as you'll notice, everybody we are racing around us are all on the soft tires. The soft tire at Vietnam is good for about a second a lap faster than the medium. So it's going to be very hard for us to hold off these guys, and plus we don't even have to pace over them on equal tires as we saw in qualifying. So we'll just try to hold track position as long as we can. You'll notice Pierre Gasly came down pit road. Gasly had some damage as we look back at the start of this race. That was absolutely heroic. I figured, I'm going to go as deep as I possibly can. I didn't think I would get that far up. And, we didn't even come close to hitting Albon, even though we got a warning for it. We didn't really come close. Like, we came closer to hitting the wall just now than we came to getting Albon, as this is Kimi Raikkonen. Raikkonen's actually gotten past that entire pack, including, Kvyat and all of them. So, good for Kimi. He's gotten by Perez. He's gotten by his teammate Giovinazzi. It's important for us to keep Giovinazzi behind us as long as we possibly can, since he is our rival, so we're not going to make it easy on him. I don't think we have a choice as far as it comes to Sergio Perez, who is just going to take advantage of the little bit of space we've given him. It's, oh man, Giovinazzi, it's McLaren. This is overwhelming, and oh man. That's a mess. That's an absolute mess. That was a little bit naughty by us, overshooting the corners so we can not only beat them, but beat Perez. But it's a good thing we did get away from Perez, because Perez got a really bad exit off of that corner, worse than anything we've done. Well, actually, it's kind of like we did just now, and that's going to put us under serious attack from Antonio Giovinazzi, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to keep our rival behind us. He has that Ferrari engine, which is the best engine in this game, even though the Ferrari engine is not the best engine in real life. They've given the Ferraris last year's Ferrari engine in this game for whatever reason, as we go 3 wide into the hairpin, and the squeeze, oh baby, what a squeeze, and we get away momentarily. Perez, though, he's got the acceleration, he's got the position, he's gonna kind of hold us at bay. Good racecraft from Sergio Perez, and not so much from Carlos Sainz, who tried to have a look at us through this absolutely devilish final section of this Vietnam racetrack. And yeah, I am definitely not a big fan of this Vietnam track. Like, I don't know how in the world Formula 1 is going to come to this track and expect to put on even a half-decent race. I wish them the best, but this track it feels pretty awful in the race, though I might be slightly biased. I'm like really slow here, so we'll see as we get passed by Carlos Sainz. So whoa, Sainz locking up back, trying to give us a chance to attack him, but we just do not have the pace to even keep up with Carlos Sainz. We fast forward a lap or two later to where, as you can see, Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez both almost 6 seconds up the road, so we just clearly don't have the pace. Even Romain Grosjean in the Haas is attacking us, and our car is actually better than the Haas at this point, but the Haas does have the Ferrari engine, Grosjean does have DRS, and Grosjean still has the softs. Like, this looks like just myself and Mazepin went on the mediums to start this race off, so a Cookie Monster special, and it's not working out for either of us. We're P17. We are ahead of our teammate P18. It looks like we are a little bit faster than Mazepin, but I mean, that's not really saying much. Like, being faster than the guy who's almost in last place, like, yeah, we're better than the Williams, and that's about it. Gasly's behind this. Gasly made that pit stop on lap 1. He must have had some sort of damage going into that first corner, which was definitely very congested. As you see, a couple of these soft runners have come down pit road. Gasly's all over the back of us. Keep in mind, Gasly pit, and Gasly has made up an entire pit stop of time on us. Gasly did pit for softs, but still, like, that just really proves how bad our pace is at this track. So yeah, we got a couple of the guys who pitted for softs behind us, including Kimi Räikkönen. And remember, Räikkönen, he was behind us as of like lap 5, so he was able to build that much of a gap to where he almost came out ahead of us. Gasly and Räikkönen both have gone past Mazepin. They're battling each other as we pass Gasly and Pierre. Whoa, that's wild! Gasly gets into Räikkönen. Whoa, they might both have damage after that. We're on board with Nikita Mazepin here, and this was just ill-timed by Gasly, to say the least. Just no angle into the corner, and poor Kimi Räikkönen pays the price, along with Gasly, who already has pitted once for crash damage on the very first lap, and I don't know if he, like, look at this. He is on the curb with no chance to make this corner. He just absolutely destroys the wing of Kimi Räikkönen, and it looks like he's got damage as well because Gasly is coming into the pits. So not a good race for the young Frenchman. Meanwhile, for us, it says we're in 11th place, but once we do make our pit stop, which we are scheduled to make this lap, we're going to drop down the order like a rock sinking in water. So here is Sainz all over the back of us. Sainz has already made his pit stop. He's just waiting for us to pit so he can continue on with his race. And now we finally do come in. Mazepin still has not pit yet. He is still on the mediums from the beginning of the race, as well as George Russell. As you see, we eventually do come out of the pits in, yes, P19. So I think that might be a legitimate P19 for us. So yeah, despite the very good start we had, we are very much facing the reality of, yeah, probably like a P19 finish in this race, as that is Lewis Hamilton, the race leader, off the track, smoking and out of the Vietnam Grand Prix from the lead, and a safety car out for Hamilton's destroyed Mercedes engine. This could change everything in this race for Lewis Hamilton. This is going to be costly. He was looking for his 3rd win in a row to start this race, or start this great 2020 season off. It's not going to happen for him. Meanwhile, for us, we watch a lot of people dive into the pits, and we actually come out in P14. So that's very interesting that a lot of people pit under the safety car. For us, we literally just pitted for softs. So, you know, no reason for us to come down pit road. We've gained a lot of track position, and this could allow us to actually once again be in the running for a decent position at the, or just finishing position. We went from, you know, being in P20 to start the race to all the way up to like P12 after the first couple of corners, and thinking maybe we could get a points finish. Then we dropped all the way down to P19, and now after the safety car restart, we find ourselves in, it looks like P14. So, you know, it's very optimistic for me to say that we have a chance to scrap for like a point or two, but yeah, it's not looking great for us. It's definitely not looking great for a Red Bull off the track. That is Max Verstappen. It looks like Verstappen's engine has expired on him. So Lewis Hamilton is out of the Vietnam Grand Prix. Max Verstappen will retire, and Max Verstappen, if he can't get out of the way, he might bring out a safety car himself, because he's in the middle of a very dangerous part, the highest speed section of this track. As you see Mazepin being attacked by George Russell. thankfully Mazepin has held on to that position as we are tacking onto the back of Pierre Gasly. We might actually make the move on Gasly. It seems like we just continue to find our way near Pierre in this race. And yeah, I think we might go for a late braking move, and Gasly's giving us the space. We're riding the curb. We get the exit and we make the move pretty easily on Pierre Gasly. Keep in mind, Gasly's tires a little bit older than ours since he had pit after him and Raikkonen had the damage and he stayed out under the safety car. So it looked like a Ferrari pit just now. We have more guys pitting, and we're actually going to shoot pretty high up the running order after everybody comes down pit road. So we are in P5, and everybody's making their final pit stops. We're going to have to make our final pit stop this time around. So we're going to forfeit this very nice looking 5th place as we get our 2nd warning for exceeding track limits. And both of them have come from when we made our pit stop, from when we entered pit road. So that is a bit poor from the stores, because we're literally one either corner cut or exceeding track limits away from a 3-second time penalty, which would be pretty lame considering I've gotten my first 2 just trying to find out where the pits are on this track. So we come out right, or we come in right behind Giovinazzi. We'll see if we come out right behind Giovinazzi, and we do. We are right near our rival, and our position is looking like about 16th, 17th. Yeah, not looking great for this final stretch run. Like I said, everybody's made their final pit stops, it looks like. So, yeah, where we are is where we might be for this last run of the race. Oh, what a move on Lance Stroll, disposing of the racing point as soon as possible. The one advantage we do have, since we started the race on the mediums, it looks like we are on the soft compound tire for this final run, and a lot of the field is running the medium compound tire for this final run. So we're going to have pace on guys. You know, like I said, the soft tires are about a lap faster. Whoa! That's Carlos Sainz, I believe, who has all but lost it on the exit. Now approaching the long straightaway, and because of that bad run, look how many people are behind him. It's K-Mag, it's Giovinazzi, it's Grosjean, it's ourselves. Everybody's in this pack. Kvyat's in there. We're looking to make a dive. We're looking to gain positions, and on the exit, Carlos Sainz is around, and he's absolutely blocked the track. There's nowhere we can go until Carlos Sainz finally goes out the way, and that's going to allow myself, Kvyat, Grosjean, and Giovinazzi to all get away. Actually, Kvyat, he's long gone. Kvyat is 10 seconds up the road. Virtual safety car out after that incident. And yeah, definitely at least the VSC needed for all of that calamity. That was just, you know, us going for it, and yeah, maybe making a mistake, as we have Nicholas Latifi exiting the pits right next to us. Latifi shot out of a cannon, but we do the same exact thing we did to Lance Stroll and just beat him to the punch and get away. Latifi has pitted for the softs, so yeah, Latifi actually shown ahead of us. That's because he came down pit road. And the reason why Latifi came down pit road is because Latifi, Sergio Perez, and our teammate Mazepin all had penalties. What a race this has become. So, because of what Sainz did, because of what we did to Sainz, we are now in P9 on the soft tire, and we should be able to pull away from Giovinazzi and Stroll, and all of a sudden we are on for getting points once more in this race. I'm just a little bit confused on what's happening. I don't know how we found ourselves in this position. And as you guys see, all the penalties in this race, George Russell has a 5-second time penalty along with Valtteri Bottas and Daniel Ricciardo. They have not served those 5-second time penalties. So if those 3 do not pit for the rest of the race, that's going to be tacked on to their final position minus 5 seconds. Their, you know, final race result. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on, because I believe Valtteri Bottas is the race leader. So this could potentially cost Valtteri Bottas the win, as we have yellow flags up ahead, as we are still comfortably in P9, just kind of running by ourselves. And safety car once again, and it looks like there's a Renault parked in the middle of the track. In the middle of the track, it's Esteban Ocon. What in the world is going on in Vietnam? A complete safety car for the 2nd time in this race. So we have had safety car, virtual safety car, and because of Ocon spinning by himself, a safety car once again, and that was Alexander Albon in the Red Bull, who had absolutely nowhere to go. Hit the wall, hit Ocon, has major damage. You're not watching Ocon, that's Kvyat, who did the same exact thing the Red Bull driver did. Thankfully for us, Ocon was ghosted by the time we got to him. That damage, the debris on the track did not damage our car at all. And because of everything that happened in that instant with Ocon, Albon, and Kvyat, it looks like Ocon is a 5-second penalty. Ocon's still in the race, but you know, he's definitely worse for wear. Albon and Kvyat have come down pit road to repair crash damage, and we are now in 6th place. We are now in 6th place in Vietnam, a race that I fully considered a bogey race, and like I said, I'm literally running this race just so I can complete laps. And now we are in 6th place, and remember the penalties. Remember the 5-second penalties. So Valtteri Bottas is leading the race, but has a 5-second penalty that is unserved and is going to go towards his final position. So he might win the race on track, but Charles Leclerc is in a great position to win this Vietnam Grand Prix. Meanwhile, Daniel Ricciardo ahead of us might beat us on track, but there's a chance that we could finish P5 in this race if we can get by or just, you know, stay within 5 seconds of Daniel Ricciardo. And then George Russell, who is in a points position right now, might lose that points position because of a 5-second time penalty of his own. I don't know how the AI have all these penalties, but it's happened. As you see, we're looking near Norris, and we are now green flag. It's a 2-lap shootout to end the inaugural Vietnam Grand Prix. We are in 6th. Of course, our rival Giovinazzi is in 7th. We picked the perfect man to be our rival because he's always near us and usually right behind us. And Giovinazzi is a very welcoming sight in our mirror. Hopefully we can hold up Lance Stroll and the rest of the pack behind us. And maybe with us having the better tire compound, maybe we can put an attack on Lando Norris for P5. At least keep up with Daniel Ricciardo so we can get 5th place after Ricciardo gets this penalty. Bottas still holding the lead, but he's got to really put in a couple of great laps to put up a 5-second gap over Leclerc. That's probably impossible. Giovinazzi trying to keep up with us, but we get some decent acceleration. We're away from Giovinazzi. Hopefully that Alpha doesn't put us under attack. Though I do know who is under attack, and that is Sebastian Vettel. Here comes Ricciardo on the outside. Ricciardo looking to pass the Ferrari. Ricciardo thinking podium here in Vietnam. And can he do it around the outside? Probably not. Maybe so. Ricciardo sticks the move, and the Renault is in P3 as we cross the line for the white flag lap. But keep in mind, Ricciardo has the 5-second time penalty, so this 3rd place could very well become a 6th, maybe 7th place by the end of this race as we continue to somewhat keep up with Norris and Vettel. Even with the better tire, we just cannot keep up with the McLaren and the Ferrari. We're trying to get any sort of slipstream though. Norris slipstreaming Vettel, Vettel slipstreaming Ricciardo. It's all evening itself out as we just are kind of maintaining our position. I think at this point I'm just kind of settled for what should be a 5th place because Ricciardo is not going to put 5 seconds on us. Ricciardo with a bad exit off the corner, and now he is under attack from Vettel, who is under attack from Norris. This could get ugly. This may end in tears on the final lap. Ricciardo defending for all it's worth on the inside. Vettel trying to go outside. Norris maybe 3 wide, and eventually late on the brakes. That might have been Vettel, and we are all over the back of Lando Norris. We may be able to put the move on the McLaren, maybe not. We fall back. Vettel is ahead of Ricciardo on track. We're diving Norris. We've got damage, and we haven't made the move stick. Here comes Giovinazzi. He's swerving. He doesn't have a lane to pass us. We maintain P6 and hopefully P5 after the penalties. Speaking of penalties, Valtteri Bottas is rounding the final corner. He's going to win the inaugural Vietnam Grand Prix on track, but after the 5-second time penalty, it's Charles Leclerc who will be the victory. It's going to be Vettel in P3. It's going to be Norris in P4, and it's going to be ourselves in 5th place at the end of the race. Ricciardo drops down the running order, and we have nabbed ourselves our 2nd top 5 finish and our 2nd driver of the day in a row in what has truly been an unbelievable race. I cannot tell you how many things had to go our way to get a 5th place finish in that race. So we had Sergio Perez and Mazepin, who were ahead of us, but both of them had to serve penalties twice in that race. I don't know what that was all about. We had Ricciardo have a penalty. That gave us a position. We had Albon, Kvyat, and Ocon all crash. That's 3 positions. We had Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen retire from the race, DNFing. Those were positions. 2 safety cars. That was the perfect Vietnam Grand Prix for us. I could never have dreamt of us getting points, let alone a 5th place. I couldn't do that again if I tried a million times. Claire, if you give me a bad question, I will be mad.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
You know, Claire, I'm speechless. I have to up one of my departments, though it looks like not the power unit because it's locked. I don't know why, but let's bump up the chassis unit.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
To say the least. To say the least. A P4 and a P5, never in my wildest dreams did I think we would pull off those kind of back-to-back results in our 2nd and our 3rd race.
Things were close between you and your rival, but it looks like you're coming up top, doesn't it?
I guess. I mean, we were close with Giovinazzi all race long from start to finish, even though at some point we separated. But I don't know, man. Me and Antonio might be inseparable this season.
You had a close battle today, didn't you?
Is it Groundhog Day, or did Claire just ask the same question? I think she did. Claire, are you good? Like, what?
Appreciate your time.
All right, Claire, that was a little bit sloppy from you. We actually, I think we tied Giovinazzi in the rivalry after that race. Either way, we're up 5-4. I don't know. We'll take it. I just cannot believe, like, at some point, our luck is going to, level out, and we're going to start getting, like, P15 in races like we deserve to. Like, for now, we just are getting lucky, but, I will take these points finishes any way we can get them, even if it's just from the luckiest form possible. Like I said, man, it was literally the perfect Bahrain Grand Prix last time out. It was the perfect Vietnam Grand Prix. Everything fell our way, so we'll take it. We advance a couple of days. We get some upgrades. We actually have a invitational session here that's going to allow us to get some acclaim for our team and allow us to get some cash for our team to continue to build up the Cookie Monsters, who might be a little bit ahead of schedule after the way we have started this season off. Next race is China, so I'm not too sure what that race is going to hold. If we get another top 5, like, that's just absolute madness. And it's not going to help that we just had an upgrade fail, a major upgrade in the aero department. So unfortunately, after all the highs, we're going to end this video on a little bit of a low note because of that failure. We'll have to reapply for that upgrade. So yeah, leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed this crazy race, because like I really don't know what to say. Subscribe for more Madden 20 game. Madden 20, man, I'm tripping. F1 2020 my team videos. I mean, if you can subscribe for Madden, but you're gonna be on the wrong channel. And on that note, I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you as always for watching.